Why do some people get mind-blowing results from ChatGPT while others get complete garbage? Same tool, completely different outcomes. However, most people are using ChatGPT like it's a fancy Google search. ChatGPT can write your emails, analyze your data, solve complex problems, and even help you land that AI job you've been dreaming of. But only if you know how to talk to it. At Turing College, we've helped thousands of students go from I don't know how to use AI to landing data science and AI jobs in less than a year. And what I've learned is this: the difference between someone who says AI is so overhyped and someone who says AI changed my career comes down to 5 simple techniques. In this video, I'm sharing the 5 ChatGPT techniques I use every single day that I wish someone had taught me on day 1. These aren't complex coding tricks or prompt engineering PhD stuff. These are practical, immediately useful strategies that will 10x your results starting today. By the end, you'll know exactly how to get ChatGPT to actually understand what you want and deliver results that feel like magic. So let's dive in. Now, before we jump into techniques, there's one mistake almost everyone makes when they first start using ChatGPT, and it's costing you better answers every single time. Think about it. When you ask ChatGPT a question without any context, it gives you a generic answer. It's like asking a random person on the street for career advice versus asking someone who's actually in your industry. The quality is completely different. This is called role prompting, and it's stupid simple, but crazy effective. Instead of just asking a question, you tell ChatGPT who it should be. Here's an example. Bad prompt: explain machine learning to me. Good prompt: you're a data science professor who's taught thousands of beginners. Explain machine learning to someone with zero technical background. See the difference? The second one gives ChatGPT a persona, an audience, and context. And the answer you get back? Night and day. When I need to analyze data, I say, you're a senior data analyst with 10 years of experience. When I'm writing content, I say, you're a YouTube scriptwriter who's written a viral videos. When I'm learning something new, I say, you're a patient teacher explaining this to a smart 12-year-old. The key is being specific about the role and the audience. That one shift will immediately upgrade your results. Okay, so now ChatGPT knows who it is. But here's the thing. Most people still get mediocre results because they're making one critical mistake with how they ask questions. Let me show you what I mean. One of the biggest mistakes people make is throwing everything at ChatGPT in one massive prompt. Write me a script, make it funny, include data, keep it under 10 minutes, target beginners, add examples. That's like ordering every item on a menu at once and expecting a gourmet meal. You'll get something back, but it's going to be all over the place. Instead, break a request into smaller, iterative steps. Think of ChatGPT like a conversation partner, not a one-type search engine. Here's how it works. Step 1. Start broad. Help me outline a YouTube script about AI jobs. Step 2. Refine. Now expand section 2 with 3 specific examples. Step 3. Polish. Make the hook more attention-grabbing and conversational. Each step builds on the last one, and you're guiding ChatGPT to exactly what you want. I do this literally for everything. When I'm writing, I don't ask for a full article. I ask for an outline first. Then I ask to expand each section one by one. Then I ask to refine the tone. It takes a few extra minutes, but the quality, way better. And here's the bonus. You're learning as you go. You're seeing how ChatGPT thinks, which makes you better at prompting over time. This is exactly what we teach students at Turing College when they're learning to work with AI tools. Iteration beats perfection every time. Alright, so you got the role technique down. You're iterating step by step. But there's still one thing that separates beginners from power users. And it's something people completely overlook. ChatGPT is trained on billions of examples, but it doesn't know your style. It doesn't know the tone you like, the format you prefer, or the structure you need. So it guesses. And sometimes guesses are way off. The fix is simple. Give ChatGPT an example. Let's say you want it to write email subject lines. Instead of saying, write me 10 email subject lines, you say, here's an example of subject line I like. This one trick doubled my productivity. Now write me 10 more in the same style. Boom! Now ChatGPT knows exactly what you want. When I'm creating social media posts, I paste 2-3 examples of posts I love and say, write me 10 more like these. When I'm writing video scripts, I give ChatGPT a section I've written and say, match the tone and style for the rest. When I'm analyzing data, I show it the format I want the output in. The more specific your example, the better your result. It's like giving ChatGPT a blueprint instead of asking it to guess what you're building. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Because the next technique isn't just about getting better answers. It's about making ChatGPT actually remember things about you. And once you unlock this, everything changes. Every time you open a new ChatGPT conversation, it starts from scratch. It doesn't know who you are, what you're working on, or what your goals are. So you're constantly re-explaining yourself, and that's exhausting. This is where the master prompt comes in. It's basically a document that contains everything ChatGPT should know about you. Your background, your goals, your preferences, your tone, your weaknesses, everything. Here's how you build it. Open ChatGPT and say, help me create a master prompt about my life and work. Ask me questions to gather all the context you need. It will then interview you. You answer the questions, then you just save that as PDF or text document. Now, every time you start a new chat, you upload that master prompt first. Suddenly, ChatGPT knows you. It knows you're learning data science, it knows you prefer simple explanations, it knows you're working toward an AI career. I can't overstate how much time this saves. Instead of re-explaining your context every single time, you just upload one document and boom, ChatGPT is dialed in. Alright, we've covered 4 game-changing techniques. But here's the one that honestly blew my mind when I first learned it. And it's the difference between using ChatGPT as a tool and using it as a thinking partner. Here's the thing about AI. It's designed to be agreeable. If you ask it a question, it gives you an answer. If you share an idea, it says, that's great. But that's not always helpful. Sometimes what you really need is someone to poke holes in your thinking, challenge your assumptions, and make you better. This is called devil's advocate mode, and it's simple. You just tell ChatGPT, I need you to challenge me on this. Don't just agree. Tell me what's wrong with my thinking. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're trying to decide whether to switch careers into AI. Instead of asking, should I switch careers into AI? You say, I'm thinking about switching careers into AI. Challenge my decision. What are the risks? What am I not considering? What assumptions am I making that might be wrong? Now ChatGPT becomes your sparring partner. Before I make big decision, I ask ChatGPT to challenge me. Before I publish content, I ask it to find weaknesses. Before I commit to learning path, I ask, what am I overlooking? This technique forces you to think deeper, consider blind spots, and make smarter decisions. And honestly, it's one of the most underrated uses of AI. Most people want AI to make them feel good. But the best use of AI is making you think better. Now look, these 5 techniques are just the beginning. If you're serious about building a career in AI, data science, or analytics, knowing how to use tools like ChatGPT is a must. At Turing College, we teach students not just the theory, but how to actually apply AI tools in real-world projects. And if you want to dive deeper into how AI is reshaping careers, check out our other videos. We're breaking down everything from job market trends to hands-on technical skills. So let's recap. 5 ChatGPT techniques I use every single day. Number 1, give ChatGPT a role, tell it who to be and who it's talking to. Number 2, break it down step by step. Iterate instead of dumping everything in one prompt. Number 3, give examples, show ChatGPT exactly what you want instead of making it guess. Number 4, build your master prompt. Create a context document so ChatGPT always knows you. Number 5, ask it to challenge you. Turn AI into a thinking partner, not just a yes machine. Here's the truth. ChatGPT isn't magic. But when you know how to use it the right way, it feels like magic. These 5 techniques have saved me hours every single week, made my work better, and honestly, made me a better thinker. And the best part? You can start using every single one of these today, right now. No special tools, no paid features, just smarter prompting. But here's the thing, Knowing how to prompt ChatGPT is just one piece of the puzzle. If you really want to build a career in AI, there's a bigger question you need to answer. What skills actually matter in 2026? That's exactly what we cover in our next video. Click right here and we'll break down the exact learning path to go from beginner to job ready in AI. And if you found this helpful, subscribe to Turing College for more real practical advice on building your AI career without the hype. See you in the next one.